Sometimes being the only one alive doesn't mean the world ended. It means the world stopped seeing you. David knew that too well. In a school of light laughter and blonde hair, his dark skin felt like a crime scene. They smiled through him like glass, talked over him like noise. 6 girls ruled the place, popular, perfect, loud, yet their silence toward him was the cruelest sound of all. Every day he walked those halls, feeling like the last human on earth, surrounded by ghosts who never saw him breathing. But loneliness has a way of turning quiet into anger, and anger into truth. One night, when the mask finally cracked, they saw what they had created. Not a monster, but a mirror. The boy they ignored would make them remember his name, not with violence, but with silence sharp enough to bleed through their guilt. The morning light in Brookside High always looked the same. Too bright, too cold, too white. David walked through the gates, hoodie up, earbuds in, pretending the music drowned the laughter that wasn't meant for him. The 6 girls were by the lockers again, their perfume hanging heavy in the air, their voices soft with judgment. Madison, the ringleader, looked up as he passed. "Careful, David," she said, smirking. "Don't trip over your shadow." Her friends giggled like background noise. He didn't answer. He never did. Talking back only made things worse. They called him quiet, weird, angry, but they never called him right. In the cafeteria, no one sat beside him. His tray was always half full, his mind half empty. The noise around him, forks clinking, shoes squeaking, laughter, all sounded like another planet's language. He imagined, sometimes, what it would feel like if someone actually spoke to him, not at him. When teachers asked group work, everyone paired off fast. He was always left standing. That's how it began. A slow erasure, the feeling that maybe he wasn't really here. That Friday, it rained hard. Everyone huddled inside, and Madison decided to play her favorite game. "Truth or dare," she announced, waving her phone to film. "Let's make it viral." The girls laughed, tossed their blonde curls, and dared each other to stupid things. Spill soda on their crush's desk, call the math teacher Dad, post an ugly selfie. Then her eyes found David across the room. "Hey," she called, "let's make him play." He looked up, confused. "Truth or dare, David?" He wanted to walk away, but he was tired of walking away. He said, "Truth," quietly. Madison smiled like a blade. "Is it true you think we're racist?" The word hung in the air like thunder. Her friends gasped, half amused, half shocked. David looked down at his hands. He said, "You don't need to think something for it to be true." They laughed, loud, cruel, rehearsed. "Chill, it's just a game," Madison sneered. "Don't get all Black Lives Matter on us." He walked out in silence. But that night he didn't sleep. The rain outside kept talking. It sounded like the world apologizing for what it let happen. He stared at his reflection in the dark window, his face half hidden, half erased. In the morning, he didn't go to school. He walked to the old field behind the town instead, where nobody went anymore. From there you could see the city skyline, shiny, proud, pretending everything was fine. He thought of his mother, who used to say, "The world won't end with fire or ice. It'll end when people stop seeing each other." He wondered if maybe it already had. Monday came, and his absence was noticed only by attendance sheets. The 6 girls laughed through the halls as usual, scrolling on their phones, liking pictures of themselves. But by Wednesday, something felt different. A message popped up in their group chat, a photo from an unknown account. "Do you remember him?" The picture showed David sitting alone in the cafeteria from months ago. No caption, no tag, just the image. Madison replied with a laughing emoji. Creepy. Probably him trying to get attention. Another photo appeared, them laughing behind his back in class. Then one more, a close-up of their faces mid-laughter, caught like villains frozen in time. They started to get uneasy. "Who's sending these?" whispered Emily. By evening, all 6 had received a video. Shaky footage of the empty hallway, their lockers, the word alone written on the floor in chalk. Panic rose, but so did guilt. The next day, the principal announced that David's mother had called. He hadn't come home in 3 days. The laughter in the cafeteria died. Madison's fingers trembled as she scrolled her phone that night. Another message. "You made him disappear. Now it's your turn to see what that feels like." They met at the old field after school, rain starting to fall again. "It's him," whispered Grace. "He's alive." They stood in the center of the field, mud clinging to their shoes, fear clinging to their throats. The wind whispered like a ghost, and somewhere a song was playing, one they recognized from his earbuds. Then they saw him. David stood by the broken fence, soaked, still, silent. His eyes weren't angry. They were empty, like someone who'd finally understood something too big to explain. "You didn't have to find me," he said softly. Madison stepped forward. "We're sorry, okay? It was stupid. We didn't mean—" "Yes, you did. That's the problem. You always mean it. You just don't mean to feel it." The girls fell silent. He looked at them, 6 faces pale in the gray rain. "You think I'm angry, but I'm just tired. You all live on a planet where people like me are background color." No one spoke. He took a step back, eyes still calm. "You don't have to hurt someone to erase them. You just have to stop seeing them." Then he walked away, into the fog, into the rain, like he was walking off the edge of the earth. A week later, police found David's backpack by the river. Inside, a sketchbook filled with drawings. The school, the cafeteria, the 6 girls, and one last page showing the earth empty, him standing alone at the center. Written beneath, "Maybe I was never here." The school held an assembly. Teachers spoke about kindness. Students posted hashtags and condolences. The 6 girls sat in silence, their eyes red, but not from tears, from something heavier. At night, Madison couldn't sleep. She kept hearing his voice. "You just have to stop seeing them." She looked at her reflection in the mirror, seeing her own face for the first time not as beautiful, but as cruel. One by one, the others broke too. Grace deleted all her social media. Lily stopped talking altogether. The guilt wasn't loud, it was quiet, the same kind of quiet David had lived in. Months passed. The world moved on, as it always does, but not for them. Every time they laughed, it sounded wrong. Every time they looked at someone different, they saw him. Years later, Madison visited the field again. The fence was gone. The city skyline shimmered far away, uncaring. She placed a flower on the ground. "David, you were right. The world ended, and we didn't even notice." The wind stirred, gentle, almost kind. Somewhere in that endless silence, it felt like an answer. "Now you do." And in that moment, surrounded by nothing but air and memory, Madison finally understood what it meant to be truly alone on Earth.